From Nashville's WSM Radio, the original home of the Grand Ole Opry, this is a Coffee, Country, and Cody podcast.
Hey, it's Charlie Matos, and in this episode of our Coffee, Country, and Cody podcast, we sat down and visited with Charlene Tilton. Boy, if you are a fan of Dallas, you are going to love this interview. But so much more to chat about as well. Charlene is starring in a new PureFlix movie called Heaven Sent. We would share some memories of a guest appearance on Laverne and Shirley and memories of the great Cindy Williams and hosting Saturday Night Live. So much to chat about with our guest, Charlene Tilton.
Coffee, Country, and Cody.
We've known each other a long time, right? When was the last time you had a man, Elise?
Sometimes it is a good thing God doesn't answer your prayers.
When you least expect it? Expected! That's funny.
We are back. Charlene Tilton sitting down.
Getting in.
You need an apple box?
I know. This chair is like hold on. Give me 2 seconds here.
Yo, go ahead.
Hey, everybody.
Because Kelly Sutton, who does entertainment on the show, Kelly has to use an apple box to stand behind the podium at the Opry.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so you know all about that.
Yes, I do.
Nice to see you. Thanks for getting up early and coming in.
Are you kidding? This is amazing. Thank you for having me.
You're already sharing the love, and Valentine's Day's not even here
I'm wearing my Valentine's Day sweater. Love.
Well, let's talk about what we just saw coming out of the break there as we bumped back, and it is now streaming exclusively on PureFlix, PureFlix.com. You've got, you play the part of Pam.
I do. I play the part of Pam.
Heaven Sent is the name of the movie.
The movie is called Heaven Sent. It's on PureFlix, which is a streaming service. It's like a Netflix, but kind of Hallmarky Netflix. It's faith-based, a lot of it. All inspirational movies, family-friendly, and this is a really sweet story, I got to tell you. Honestly, in all the things I've ever done, this is probably one of my favorite movies.
So there are 3 families that we chronicle at different stages of life here?
Yes, there's 3 love stories going on at the same time. And one is a pastor who's been widowed who finds love with my best friend. But what I love about it is because it has a pastor and then these people on a praise and worship team, and it doesn't make it all pie in the sky. It shows them as real people, but God working through their life in real way. So it's not like they're too heavenly, good, too heavenly up there to be any earthly good.
Yes.
It's great.
And again, PureFlix.com.
Yes.
Is where you'll find it. We had you into our lives and living rooms, courtesy of Dallas, one of the most successful primetime series in television history, as Lucy Ewing. Take us back in time to how you came to that show.
I was 17 years old when
What were you doing prior to your audition?
Going to high school and working in a T-shirt shop. And I had my own apartment when I was 15 years old. And I went to Hollywood High School, and I was in the drama department. And an agent saw me and said, "Do you want an agent?" And I said, "Yes," desperately. And I got an agent. And I read that they were auditioning for Dallas, so I snuck into the studio every day because they would not see me for it. They wouldn't audition me. Snuck in every day for 2 weeks to Barbara Miller, who was our casting director, and begged her to see me. She said, "Please let me read for Lucy Ewing. Let me read for this." Finally, she said, "Come back tomorrow." And I did, and I ended up getting the part.
What do you remember about the first day on the set?
So nervous, and it was the first scene with myself and Ray Krebs in the hayloft, so that was a little daunting. It's like, this is Steve Cadell, Charlene Tilton. Oh, hi, well, there you go. It was, but we were, I was just with Linda Gray and Patrick Duffy in Germany doing German Comic-Con, and it was so much fun. We had just the best time there, and we're still family. I mean, we've been together forever, over 40 years, so.
Do you realize pretty early on in the production, though, that this is something special and this is going to take off? Or does it take a while to get to that point, you think?
This one took a little while, which was kind of a good thing, but I was so young and just so in the throes of it, I didn't understand until I was off the show really how what a phenomenon, a worldwide phenomenon it was, because very often shows are sort of rolled out little by little to different countries.
Sure.
And Patrick Duffy mentioned to me, he said, don't you realize we went everywhere all at once, and that was the thing. And we were, over 190 million viewers, and for the Who Shot JR episode, and then Lucy's Wedding was the second highest with 180 something million viewers. That's a lot.
Yeah. So it's interesting. You go from virtually no one knowing who you are to the world knowing who you are like that.
Yes.
That's a huge adjustment in life, isn't it?
It was, but I was so fortunate because the cast that I was with, Larry Hagman and Jim Davis and Barbara Bel Geddes, everybody on the cast, we were so bonded and so tight, and they were protective of me. They took good care of me. So I'm really fortunate. I look back now, and in the 80s, there was a lot of trouble I could have gotten into, and I didn't, thank God. So,
well, you famously married Johnny Lee in
yes,
real life.
Yes, you know him well.
We have been friends a decades long
Johnny,
friendship.
and my beautiful
and daughter Cherish.
Oh, she's been in studio too?
Yeah, she's
and
been,
she
loves you guys.
Who did I just last see her on stage with at the Opry? She was, who would she have been accompanying?
Motley
she was with
Crue, Vince
Yes.
Neil.
Yeah.
You were there. Can you believe there she was? Just
Guess what?
her and Vince Neil. She was playing guitar and singing with Vince.
Because I remember thinking,
What?
Cherish is singing with Vince Neil.
Yeah.
But today is Vince Neil's birthday, ironically.
Oh.
So happy 62nd birthday
To Vince?
Yeah, and I got to work an Opry show at the Ryman with Johnny and Cherish, both on the same Opry Country Classics show. So that was just
yes,
magical.
Of course.
Yeah,
Yes,
that was
yeah.
so sweet.
The
Yeah.
difference in Charlie's night and Vince's night was that Charlie was in the yellow Fiat, Vince was in the yellow Ferrari.
He had just bought that.
Yeah, often confused vehicles.
Starts
Yes.
with F.
I mean, I almost walked into his car. Just yes.
Starts with F, both Italian.
Yeah, there it is.
He had literally just bought that car, according to Cherish. Drove it to the Opry.
Yeah. That's so. When do you come to Nashville? Let's fast forward to when do you move to Nashville and make Nashville home?
Almost 8 years ago. I think it'll be 8 years in July. Cherish was offered a recording contract. So she said, Mom, it looks like I'm going to be out here. What do you think? I was born and raised in L.A. And I went, but coming out here and being with her, I fell in love with Nashville. Just fell in love with the people, the community, and I've always loved country music. And so I moved out here. Her record deal went a little south. That was okay. Then she did an independent record.
Well, that's how you really know you're in the music business.
Yeah, right.
It's got to happen to everybody at some point.
So, but she's had some great fortune. She's been able to write with wonderful people, had some hit songs, did her independent album, and I had done a movie that was on this Christmas on Hulu called A Unicorn for Christmas, and I turned it on to watch it, and in the beginning I'm like, wait a second, that's Cherish singing. I knew she had done music for a Christmas movie. I did not know it was the movie I was in.
Oh,
and she didn't realize. I said, Cherish, you got to. Now you really have to watch my movie because your music's in it.
What are the chances?
I know.
Wow. Well, you've also got credits that include Happy Days,
Yes.
8 is Enough, Knots Landing, Saturday Night Live, and Cindy Williams recently passed away.
Yes.
Laverne and Shirley.
Yeah, that was such a fun show to do. That was sad with Cindy.
Yeah.
God bless her. Yeah, everybody loved her. She was great. And when I did Saturday Night Live, I introduced the unbilled musical guest who wasn't quite known yet. You might recognize him now, Prince.
Oh, wow.
No kidding.
Yep. And when Todd Rundgren was the musical guest, and when Prince played, we knew history had changed. We just went, oh my goodness. He was so nice and sweet. So I was the host and I was nervous. He kept calming me down, saying, "You're going to be great. You're going to be great." And we were like the same height, and I loved it. He was wearing these huge shoes, and I'm like, "Where did you get those? I need those platforms." He was awesome. Yeah.
Oh, such extraordinary memories and stories from Charlene Tilton this morning, who plays Pam in Heavenly Sent, which you will find streaming now, PureFlix.com. We're going to break, come back, continue our conversation here on 650 AM WSM Radio Worldwide, WSMOnline.com. Circle Television, over the air, streaming platforms. It's all there at CircleAllAccess.com. Charlene Tilton.
You know, if you don't start living a life outside of Derek, he's never going to have the confidence to do what he was created to do. I know why you gave up on life. But me, I'm done hiding. I'm getting out there.
And you're also getting out there.
Sure, we're not 20 anymore, but there's still life to be lived. You know what? My singles group is having an ice cream social tonight. It'll be fun. I'll even pick you up. Come on. Stealth smooth, baby.
You convinced me to go.
Well, guess what? It wasn't really an ice cream social. It was a speed dating night. And I actually met the love. Well, I'm giving spoiler alerts, so forget it. But anyway, a lot of people find love. It's perfect for Valentine's Day. Even if you don't have a Valentine, my Valentines happen to be my two little grandsons, Wyatt and Jackson. They're 2 and 6. We baked Valentine cakes yesterday and decorated, and so they're my Valentines.
The things you talk about in the dialogue there in that script were very much a part of your personal life in 2009 when your fiancé unexpectedly passed away from a heart attack, right?
Yes, he did.
How much of that helped you in being able to deliver that so emotionally and perfectly?
Well, you know, as you get older, you don't know, is there a second chance? And yeah, my fiance passed away completely unexpectedly the day before Christmas. Well, it's been 9 years now, and it was shocking, gut-wrenching, and for the next couple of months, I sort of laid on the couch, drinking, smoking cigarettes, and just
wondering what's next.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, I had this, I felt God saying, are you going to lay down and join me? Are you going to live the life I have for you? I've got a plan and purpose for your life. Are you going to live that life? And I said, okay, what do I do? And, you know, Psychology 101, you know, if you're in depression or if you are just so in grief or depression, the best thing you can do is go help somebody else to get your mind off your darn self. So I had a friend who I knew was working with autistic children, and I said, let me come and help you. Well, I had never dealt with autistic children before, didn't know anything about it. I ended up teaching autistic children for 9 years and loved it.
God bless you.
But wow. I found I was really good at it. And I was teaching them acting and directing and just doing simple acting exercises, was able to get them to socialize more. And it was beautiful to watch their transformation over the 9 years. So.
Heaven Sent, Charlene Tilton is in this PureFlix movie. It is streaming now exclusively at PureFlix.com.
It's another streaming service to go get, but this is a good one. You got to do it.
Did I read that you knew Larry Hagman, like in your high school years, long before the Dallas Lucy Ewing role came along?
No, I never knew him, but he was filming I Dream of Jeannie in a studio near where I lived in Hollywood. So I would write letters and give it to the guard, say, please give this to Larry Hagman. I just thought he was so funny and handsome on I Dream of Jeannie. Mm-hmm. I said, you know, you should meet my mom. Maybe you should be my dad. I never had met my father, so I always thought, gosh, he'd be a great dad. He's just funny and nice and handsome.
Did he respond to your letters at all? Did you ever?
Never. Of course not. However,
did he remember when you wound up on the set of Dallas?
No, but I will say this: he did become a surrogate father to me. He really did. Yeah, he did.
What was Hollywood like late 60s, early 70s, way pre-social media?
Once upon a time in Hollywood.
Yeah. Because I'm a huge I Love Lucy fan. So the L.A. at Last series of episodes when Lucy and Ricky and the Ricardos go to L.A., that's kind of my vision of the 1960s Los Angeles,
Yeah,
So,
that was,
early 60s,
Yeah, oh my gosh. Yeah. I Love Lucy. My all-time favorite show. I have to watch one episode a day. I have to. I have to watch it. One episode of I Love Lucy.
I can watch the Brown Derby one where poor William Holden gets the spaghetti poured on him. It's my favorite episode.
That's my favorite. Yeah. And Jeff Oppenheim's son, who is the writer. Yep. I told him, I said, everyone thinks Vita Vita Benjamin and all these other. I said that one. He said, that was my father's favorite episode too. The one.
Oh, that's
great.
But
when she lights her nose on fire.
Oh, that's so great.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yes, I could go on and I know every line from every episode.
Holden.
Yes.
Well, what if you have Charlene over and you and they fix dinner?
We just watch I Love Lucy episodes.
Have a binge watching night together.
Absolutely.
Well, my kitchen, I have to tell you, everybody knows all my friends know I love Lucy. Well, somehow my kitchen is now decorated with I Love Lucy aprons, pot holders, things, and all kinds of Lucy memorabilia. And so my kitchen is I Love Lucy. I'm not kidding.
Do you have an oven that can do a 20-foot loaf of bread coming out?
Oh, you're good. That's what I need to get.
Were there other famous folks that came out of your class there at Hollywood High School?
Oh, yes. The drama class that I was in was led by a gentleman named Jerry Melton, who has passed away, but he was truly amazing. And he said that he knew at that time, he said he had a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Everybody in our class has gone on to, in different areas of the business. Gigi, who married Mr. Melton's son, she's won Emmy Awards for costume design. Frank Darabont wrote and directed Shawshank Redemption. So many movies. The Majestic, The Green Mile, and so he was in everybody in our classes become successful, and I was the first one out of the gate to become successful. So back then the Inquirer came and everyone got a hold of Mr. Melton. So did you know that Charlene Tilton, did you think that she was going to be successful? He goes, no, I kept kidding. He said, I told her to go find a plan B because he said, but I remember when he had told me to find a plan B, he said, look, if you're going to be an actor, but you got to have a plan B. If it's selling shoes or typing or whatever, you've got to find a plan B. And I said, I can't have a plan B. If I don't act, I will die. A little over dramatic, but I really said it like that. But I did the worst monologue for him ever. It was Romeo and Juliet. And I was 14. But I chose to play the nurse in Romeo and Juliet, who's a much older, heavy-set, broad character. I could play her now. But so I go to play the nurse, and it was the worst monologue anyone's ever done in the history of acting. And he looked at me and he said, why? You're 14, you've got long, beautiful hair. You are the quintessential Juliet. Why wouldn't you play Juliet? I said, I'm an actress. I want to stretch. I was so full of myself, I guess.
Charlene, thanks for sharing Charlene and Pam from your new movie, Heaven Sent. It's streaming now, PureFlix.com, and you'll always be 2 weeks older than me. December the 1st, December the 16th, 1958.
Yeah, but you look 2 years younger, so there you go, baby. You got it over me.
Thanks for listening to the Coffee, Country, and Cody podcast. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And please leave us a 5-star review. This podcast was produced through the facilities of WSM Radio in Nashville, Tennessee. The hosts of Coffee, Country, and Cody are Bill Cody, Charlie Matos, and Kelly Sutton. Producer, Eric Markham. WSM General Manager and Director of Content and Programming, J. Patrick Tittle. Copyright 2023. Opry Entertainment Group Holdings, LLC.